You know, we hear the terms smart city and sustainable city thrown around all the time. But what do they actually mean? Are we talking about flying cars and robot butlers, or something else entirely? Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut through all the hype and get down to the real blueprint for our future urban lives. Okay, just imagine this for a second. What if your daily commute was totally seamless? You know, traffic lights that adapt in real time, completely erasing traffic jams. What if your home managed its own energy so efficiently that waste just became a thing of the past? And what if the air you breathe actually got cleaner year after year? Look, this isn't some far-off science fiction fantasy, it's the actual promise at the core of building smarter, more sustainable cities. So how do we get there? How do we go from the gridlock and wasted energy of today to that, well, seamless future? It all starts with a blueprint. So let's dive in and look at the foundational pieces that make a city not just high-tech, but truly smart and livable for the people who actually call it home. So what does this all really boil down to? At its heart, a smart and sustainable city isn't really about the flashy gadgets. It's all about the why. It's about using technology and data for a very clear purpose: to make our daily lives better, to boost our quality of life, to shrink our environmental footprint, and, yep, to help the local economy thrive. It's the whole package. This whole big idea really stands on three main pillars. First up, you've got technology integration. Think of this as the city's central nervous system. It uses data from countless sensors, the whole Internet of Things thing, and AI to make everything run smoother. The second pillar is sustainable design. This is all about creating spaces for people, not just for cars. We're talking green buildings, walkable neighborhoods, that kind of thing. But honestly, the third one might be the most crucial of all: community engagement. Because let's face it, a city can't be truly smart if it isn't listening to the needs of its own residents. Let's just zoom in on one of those tech pieces for a second: the smart grid. I know it sounds super complex, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple and powerful. See, our current grid is basically a one-way street. Power gets pushed out from a central plant. That's it. But a smart grid? That's a two-way conversation. It uses data to know exactly when and where energy is needed, sending power intelligently to slash waste and save money. It's literally about giving our energy system a brain. Okay, so this vision of the future sounds pretty amazing, right? But it doesn't just happen. Building a smart city is a massive undertaking, and cities all over the globe are hitting some pretty serious roadblocks. So what are the biggest things standing in the way? Well, it usually comes down to three major challenges. The biggest one, by far, is the price tag. The financial cost is just huge. I mean, we're talking about upgrading entire citywide infrastructures. That takes an enormous upfront investment. Next up is data privacy. For a city to be smart, it needs a ton of data. But that opens up a huge can of worms, right? How do we use all that data for good without compromising everyone's personal privacy? And finally, you've got the human element. Just good old resistance to change and getting people and institutions to break from old habits. But here's the good news. Those challenges, as big as they are, aren't stopping progress. Not at all. There are cities out there right now that are pushing forward, basically turning themselves into living laboratories for the future. So let's take a look at where these ideas are already taking root in the real world. What's so cool about these pioneers is they show us there's no single right way to build a smart city. Take Singapore. It's a global leader on the tech side of things. Their Smart Nation initiative uses data for pretty much everything, from managing traffic flow to digital healthcare. Then you've got Barcelona, which puts a bigger focus on community and design, transforming old industrial districts into these amazing, walkable superblocks. And Amsterdam? Well, they prove that sometimes the smartest fix is actually pretty low tech. Their incredible focus on cycling has slashed emissions and made it one of the healthiest cities on the planet. So these cities are showing us what's possible today, right now. But of course, technology never sits still, and our grasp of urban challenges is always getting better. So what's coming up next? What are the big trends that are going to shape the cities of tomorrow? It looks like there are four key trends really starting to take shape. First, a huge shift to renewable energy, and not just in some far-off wind farm, but built right into the city itself. Second, AI is going to move from being reactive to being predictive. Imagine it anticipating traffic jams or power outages before they even happen. Third, designing for climate resilience is going to become totally standard. We're talking more urban forests and green spaces that act like giant sponges during floods. And finally, get ready to see way more public-private partnerships. Because, let's be real, these projects are just too big for any single group to handle alone. So, at the end of the day, here's the biggest takeaway from all of this. The tools we need to build better, smarter, more sustainable cities, they're not science fiction anymore. The tech is here, it's available right now. So, the real challenge for us moving forward isn't just about the technology itself, it's about the choices we make with it. It's about all of us deciding together what kind of city we truly want to build.